Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Civil Learning Online, and today in this video I will be designing a rectangular footing for a given rectangular column of dimension 300 by 400 mm in most clarifying steps. So without wasting time, let's begin the video. So let's write down what we are given in the question. That is, we are given the safe bearing capacity of soil is 15 tons per meter square. So writing down safe bearing capacity of soil equals to 15 tons per meter square. Let's convert it into kilonewton per meter square, and we all know that 1 tons equals to 1000 kg. So let's multiply it by 1000 and then with relation to gravity taking g. Now it is converted into newton. This is m and this is g, and on dividing this by 1000, this will be our kilonewton per meter square. So our safe bearing capacity of soil, which is denoted by Q naught, equals to 150 kilonewton per meter square. Now the second given is our FCK is M30. So write it down here. FCK equals to 30 Newton per millimeter square, and Fy is equals to 415 Newton per millimeter square. Now these are the things, and we are given the dimension of the column, which I will show you in the diagram. And let's move toward the first step. So our first step means step 1. In step 1 we will be finding the design constant. So let's find out the design constant. Design constant, we have the formula for finding design constant, that is XU max upon D equals to 700 by 1100 plus 0.87 Fy. On putting the value, we will get XU max by D is equal to 0.479. Just put the value of Fy is equal to 415, and the second design constant is Ru, and we have Ru equals 0.36 FCK XU max by D times 1 minus 0.416 XU max upon D. Now put the value 0.36 FCK equals to 30 Newton per meter square. 30 into XU max by D equal to 0.479 times 1 minus 0.416 times 0.479. On solving this, you will get the value of Ru equals to 4.14. This was our step 1. Now let's move toward step 2. Now here comes step 2, in which we will be design the size of footing, and we are given that the load imposed on the column is 1500 kilonewton. So let's write it down. Superimposed load, let's denote it by W equals to 1500 kilonewton. and let's take the self weight of the column as 10% of superimposed load. So self weight of footing, and denote it by WS, equals to 10% of 1500, which will be our 150 kilonewton. Now we have come to know the superimposed load and the self weight. So the total load on the footing will be total load W equals to W plus WT equals to W plus WS. So add this 1500 plus 150, and this is going to be our 1650 kilonewton. We have already calculated that the safe bearing capacity of soil is 150 kilonewton per meter square. So let's write it down. Safe bearing capacity, which is denoted by Q naught, equals to 150 kilonewton per meter square. Now let's calculate the area of the footing. So we will have area of footing, which is denoted by A, equals to weight, total weight, divided by the safe bearing capacity Q naught, then divide the total weight 1650 by 150. We will get the area of footing as 11 meter square. And let us assume that the ratio of shorter span to the longer span is equal to 40 upon 60, which will be equal to 2 by 3. Now we have got the area, and we know that area equals to L into B for rectangle. So put the value here. From here we can write L equals to 2B by 3 on cross multiplication. Neglecting this and considering this two equation, we will get L equals to 2B by 3. Now put the value of L here. We will have 2B by 3 into B equals to 11. On solving this, we will have B square equals to 33 upon 2, and from here we will get B. Let me write here. From here we will get B equals to 4.05. Now put the value of B here. We will get the value of L. So we will have L equals to 2B by 3 equals to 2 into 4.05 upon 3, which will be equal to 2.7 meter, and this is 4.05 meter. Now let us assume that our length is 3 meter, as it is approximately equal to 3 meter. So let adopt L equals to 3 meter and B equals to 4 meter, and the multiplication of L into B will be equal to 12, which will be greater than 11. So it's okay, we can take this value. Now net upward pressure of soil equals to pressure equals to weight, means the load which is coming from the column, divided by area, and the load coming from the column is 1500 kilonewton, divided by our area is going to be 3 into 4. So we will have the net upward pressure P naught equals to 125 kilonewton per meter square. Let's circle this. And now let's move toward step 3. And here in step 3 we will be calculating the depth of the foundation. Depth of foundation. So here while calculating the depth of the foundation, we need to have a diagram of the footing which we are going to design, and I have drawn it. So let me show you. So this is going to be our diagram which we are designing right now, and here the value of B equals to 4 meter and value of L is equal to 3 meter, and the value of small a equals to 300 millimeter, and the value of small b is equal to 400 millimeter. Now we need to find the moment, and here are the axes about which we will be finding the moment about y-axis and moment about x-axis. So let's find the moment about y-axis first using this diagram, and then we will find the moment about x-axis. So here our moment about y-axis, let it denote by MYY, and this is our y-axis. So our moment is going to be P naught, net upward pressure of the soil, into span. Our moment, we are calculating moment about y-axis, and the span corresponding to y-axis is L. So multiply this by L times. Now on multiplying the net upward pressure by span, we have converted it into the UDL. Now we have converted into the UDL after by multiplying it with L, and if we multiply that value with this value, the span up to the axis YY axis, it will get converted into point load. So multiply this by half capital B minus small b. Now this is our point load, and after finding the point load we need moment, so we need to multiply it with the CG, and we all know that CG of this portion will lies in the middle of this portion, so we need to divide this by 2, then it will become b minus small b by 4. So multiply this by 1 by 4 times capital B minus small b. So final equation will be P naught into L times 1 upon 8 times capital B minus small b whole square. Now put the value, and we have the value of P naught, which is 125 into, and the value of L is equals to 3. So put it here, 3 into 1 by 8 times capital B, and the value of capital B is 4. So 4 minus value of small b is 400 millimeter. So in meter it will be 0.4 whole square. On solving this, you will get the value of MYY equals to 607.5 kilonewton meter. Now we need to find MUY. So multiply this by factor of safety, that is 1.5 into 607.5 kilonewton meter, then it will be equal to 911.25 kilonewton meter. Now let's find moment about x-axis. Taking moment about x-axis. So now we will be finding the moment about x-axis. So about this axis we will have moment equals to m xx equals to P naught into corresponding span. We are calculating about x-axis and the corresponding span is b, so multiply this pressure by b, then it has become UDL, and to convert UDL into point load we need to multiply this by this span. 1 by 2 times L minus A. So write it down here, 1 by 2 times L minus A. And again, to convert it into the moment, we need to take up the distance up to the CG, and the CG of this portion will be 1 by L minus A by 4, half of this. So means we need to divide this by 2, so it will become L minus A by 4, and the final equation will be equals to P naught into B times L minus A whole square divided by 8. Now put the value, and the value of P naught is 125 into, and the value of B is 4 times the value of L is 3 minus 0.3 value of small a, and the value of small is 300, a is 300 millimeter. So square divided by 8, which will be equal to 455.62 kilonewton meter. Now we need to find mu x, so multiply this by factor of safety, which is equal to 1 by 1.5 times 455.62, which will be equals to 683.43 kilonewton meter. Now we need to proceed taking the maximum value of the moment, and we all know that mu y is greater than mu x. So take mu equals to 911.25 kilonewton. Take mu equals to 911.25 kilonewton meter, and let's find the value of effective depth, which is, we have a formula, D equals to root under mu upon ru times, and here see here we are taking the moment about y-axis, and the corresponding to length y, corresponding to y-axis, our span is L, so we need to multiply this by L, which will be equals to root under mu equals to 911.25 into 10 to the power 6 divided by ru equals to 4.14 into L equals to 3000 millimeter. So from here we will get the value of D equals to 270.86 millimeter. And here the step 3 continues, and this time we will be finding the depth on the basis of one-way shear. So write it down here, B, depth on the basis of one-way shear, which is also known as beam shear, and I have shown you here. This is our beam section for the beam shear, which is at distance D from the face of the column. So let's write it down. Let the critical section be at distance D from the face of the column, and our moment about y-axis was greater, so we need to take this span. If our moment about x-axis was would have been greater, then we had to take this span, and we have considered that the critical section is at distance D from the face of the column. So our this span is going to be up to here, our span is going to be 1 by 2 times capital B minus small b minus D. So let's find the shear stress now. So again we will have shear stress V equals to P naught into span L, because the corresponding moment about y axis we are using, so we need to use the corresponding span, which is L. So multiply this by L and again multiply this by the span, which is 1/2 times b minus small b minus d. We are considering the dimension of this portion, so which is going to be 1/2 times b minus small b minus small d. So now put the value. We have the value of P naught, which is equals to 130 kilonewton per meter square into L, and the span L is 3 meter times 1/2 times b is 4 minus, this is our small b. So and this value of small b here is 400 millimeter, so 0.4 minus d, and here this d is in millimeter, so we need to convert this d into meter, because this is our in kilonewton per meter square. This is also in meter and these two dimensions are also in meter. So to convert it into meter, we need to divide this by 1000. So on multiplying this, we will have 375 times 1.8 minus 0.001 d, and this is the value of v. Let's find vu. Multiply this by the factor 1.5 into v. This is the value of v. Then we will have 562.5 times 1.8 minus 0.001 d. This is in kilonewton. So multiply this by 1000. Then we will have 562.5 into 10 to the power 3 times 1.8 minus 0.001 d, and we have got this in Newton now. And in the code IS 456 we have a separate provision for the shear stress, that is tau v equals to vu by bd. So let's find tau v now. So we will have, as per the code IS 456, tau v equals to vu upon bd as per the code, but the span corresponding to y axis is L. So here we will take L into d. Now put the value of tau v, which is 562.5 into 10 to the power 3 times 1.8 minus 0.001 d by L, and the L is 3 meter. Unit of tau v is Newton per millimeter square, so we need to multiply this by the span of L and D in taking in millimeter. So our L is 3 meters, so it is going to be 3000 millimeter into a small d, and as I told you that d was in millimeter. And here we have a provision for minimum shear reinforcement, that is our tau v should be less than tau c, and we need to find tau c, and for that we need to find the value of k, and the value of k will be based upon this. And we all know that our value of small d while finding the depth on the basis of moment was 270 millimeter, 270 point something. So we need to interpolate this value. So let's see how to interpolate. Here we need to find the value of 270 millimeter. So it will be written as 270 lies between 275 and 250, and the value is in increasing order from here. So let's write it here 1.05. it is increasing, so plus sign, and now subtract 275 minus 250. 1.010 minus 1.05, 1.10 minus 1.05 divide by 250 minus 275, 275 minus 250, and finally the depth, that is 270, for which we are finding the value. and solve this, we will get the value of k equals to 1.09, which will be between the value of 275 and 250. Now we need to find the value of tau c, and we can obtain the value from the value of tau c as per the code IS 456 from the table 19, which is based upon the percentage of steel. So let's find the percentage of steel first, then we will interpolate to get the value of tau c. Let's see. And we have the formula for percentage of steel. PT limit equals to 0.36 FCK by Fy times XU max by D now into 100. Now put the value 0.36 into FCK is 30 upon 415 times XU max by D is 0.479 into 100. We will get the value of PT limit as 1.433%, and let us assume that this is our limiting percentage steel. So we need to design, we need to design for the under reinforced section, and let's us assume for under reinforced section, PT equals to 0.3%. Now we have assumed our PT at 0.3%, which lies between 0.25 and 0.5. So we need to interpolate the value of 0.25 and 0.5 to get the value of 0.3, that is for the value of tau c, which will lie between 0.37 and 0.50. So let's again interpolate the value. So here again the value is increasing, so we need to write it as tau c equals to 0.37 plus 0.50 minus 0.37, this minus this, divide by, and the value is of 0.5 minus 0.25 times we are finding the value of 0.3 minus 0.25. You can do the interpolation by using calculator also. If you want to learn, then check out the link in the description and put the value of tau c. We will get tau c equals to 0.396. Now in SEER, our tau v must be equals to ks times tau c. So put the value of tau v, which is 562.5 times 10 to the power 3 times 1.8 minus 0.001 d, divide by 3000 d equals to 0.396 into 1.09. So from here we will get, on solving this, we will get the value of d equals to 545.11 millimeter. Now let us adopt d equals to 560 millimeter, and let's move toward the third point, in which we will apply check for two-way shear. So here the third is check for two-way shear, and here from this diagram it is clear that the section for two-way shear is at distance d by 2 from the face of the column. This is our section for two-way shear, which is already written here. Two-way shear or punching shear, that is the same thing, and which is at distance d by 2 from the face of the column. So here first we will be finding the perimeter of this portion. Perimeter means we need to find the sum of the lengths of this portion, and this is going to be our b plus d by 2 plus d by 2. So this will be equal to b plus d. This span is equal to b plus d. Similarly, this is a and this is d by 2. Here it is d by 2. So this is will be equal to a plus d. So let's write it down, and the total perimeter will be 2 times a plus d, sorry, b plus d plus a plus d. What I said, perimeter P equals to 2 times a plus d plus b plus d. It is because this is our perimeter, means we need to add all the length, and this is b plus d, so this is also b plus d, this is a plus d, so this is also a plus d. So total we will have 2a plus d and 2b plus d, sorry, 2a plus d and 2b plus d. Yeah, now put the value, which will be 2 times a equals to 0.3 plus 0.56 plus b equals to 0.4 plus 0.56, and this total will be equals to 3.64 meter. Now we need to find the punching stress, so let's write it out. Punching stress tau equals to P naught times, means pressure into area, means, and the shear will apply here, act here, so we need to multiply the stress with the remaining area, and we will write it as P naught equals to B into L, means whole area, minus the area of the middle portion, which is equals to A plus D times B plus D. See here, this whole area is B into L minus this A plus D and B plus D. This is our A plus D, sorry, B plus D, and this is our A plus D. And then multiplying this will get area, and on multiplying these two we will get area, and on subtracting whole area minus this we will get the area on which the punching stress is acting. So now put the value, sorry, this is our V, and let's find VU, and we need to multiply this by the factor of safety 1.5 times 1396.8 kilonewton, which will be equals to 2095.2 kilonewton. Now let's find tau V, which will be equals to VU upon from the diagram, and here the B is going to be our perimeter, and D will be our thickness of the section. So our perimeter is 2 times A plus D plus B plus D into depth. So put the value and find the value of tau V. Now we have got the value of tau V, and for the two-way shear we have a separate provision for the rectangular column or square column, which is in page number 58. Let me show you. Now again we will multiply Ks into tau C to check whether it is stable, whether our stable structure is safe in two-way shear or not. So let's find the value of Ks first, and here the beta C is being the ratio of shorter side to the longer side of the column. Shorter side is our length, which is 3 meter, and the longer side is our breadth, which is 4 meter. So we will get the value of beta C, and then multiply it by 0.5, which should not be greater than 1. If the value exceeds greater than 1, then we will again take Ks equals to 1. So let's see how it is done. So as per the code, we have Ks equals to 0.5 plus beta C equals to 0.5 plus beta C, means the ratio of shorter span to the longer span, which is going to be 2/3, and here it was the ratio which we took while preceding our numerical, so it comes to be 1.16, which is maximum value. So we need to take Ks equals to 1, and again we have tau C equals to 0.25 root under FCK. So put the value, it is here, you can see it. We have tau C equals to 0.25 root under FCK, and we have FCK equals to 30, so this is going to be 0.25 times root under 30, which will be equals to 1.027. Now here it shows that our tau v equals to 1.027, sorry, our tau c will be equals to 1.369, and the tau v is 1.027, which is less than tau c into ks, means it is safe, hence safe. Now let's design the reinforcement along the x direction and y direction. So our main reinforcement will be along y direction, because our moment was maximum in this along about the y axis. So our main reinforcement will be along y direction, and we will take the span L. So let's write the formula for finding the AST. Along direction y we had span L, so we need to multiply this by L. Now put the value, we will have 0.5 into 30 by 415 times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 times mu1, and the value of mu1 is 911.25 into 10 to the power 6 divided by FCK, means 30 into L. L is 3 meter, so 3000 into D is 560 square times D is 560 into L is 3000. On solving this, we will get the value of AST1, which will be equal to 4690.34 millimeter square. And let's provide 20 millimeter dia bar. I am sorry for this, I have missed something here. Before this step 4, we need to settle out our depth, as our section, or sorry, our footing was safe, so we need to fix out our if the overall depth as well as the effective depth. Since our D was 560 millimeter from the one-way shear, so let's take the overall depth equals to 620 millimeter. This step is after when our footing gets safe in two-way shear. So this is overall depth be 620 millimeter with effective cover of 60 millimeter. This will be the overall effective depth in one direction first, and the effective depth in other direction equals to 560 minus 16 millimeter, because in other direction we will be providing the 60 millimeter dia bar, so it will be equals to 544 millimeter. I am really sorry for this. And now let's do the number, find out the number of bar here and the spacing between the bar. So providing 20 millimeter dia bar, AST equals to AST of 20 millimeter dia bar is 314.16 millimeter square. So number of bars equals to 4690.34 divided by 314, and we will get 14.93, which will be proportionally equals to 15 bars. Now it's time for the spacing between the bars. So spacing equals to 314.16 divided by 4690.13 into 1000, which will be equals to 66.98. Therefore provide 20 millimeter dia bar at 70 millimeter center to center. Now let's find out the AST for the another moment, that was our M2, and we will have the formula again. For AST equals to 0.5 FCK upon Fy times 1 minus root under 1 minus mu2 into 4.6 upon FCK, and along our second moment, our span was B times D square into BD, and our D was 560 millimeter, which we had fixed before this step finding AST. So now put the value 0.5 into 30. Now we have got the value of AST2 after putting the value in this formula, and now provide, and this time we had taken the value of small d equals to 440 millimeter, because see here, this is our footing and the main reinforcement depth was 560 millimeter, and our second reinforcement will be here in other direction, so we need to subtract the thickness of the reinforcement. So this is our D dash. Okay, this is our D dash. So we have subtracted the thickness of the reinforcement. So now provide 16 millimeter dia bar, number of bar required equals to 3561.98 divided by AST of 1 bar of 16 millimeter dia is 201.06 millimeter square. Then the number of bar is 17.71, which will be proportionally equals to 18. Now time for spacing of bar. So we have spacing equals to 201.06 divided by 3561.98 into 1000, and we will have the spacing equals to 56.44 millimeter. Hence provide 16 millimeter dia bar at 60 millimeter center to center. And here for the two-way reinforcement of rectangular footing, we have a separate provision in 34.3.1 C, which is we need to find the reinforcement of the central bandwidth. So let's find it out. So area of central band width, let it be denoted by AST2 B equals to 2 by beta plus 1 times total reinforcement in the short direction, which is as per our numerical, whose value is 3561.98, and the value of beta is going to be 3 by 2, which is as per the value of which we had found out in this numerical. So on solving this, we will have 28.49.58, and let's provide 16 millimeter dia bar again for the central band. So provide 16 millimeter dia bar. So number of bar required equals to 2849.58 divided by AST of 16 millimeter bar is 201.06, which will be equals to 14.17, proportionally equals to 15 bars. Now we are at our final step, which is step 5. Let's apply for the check for development. And as per the provision of the code IS 456, which is 26.2.1, we have developed length LD equals to 47.5, and the reinforcement of the bar is taken as 16 millimeter. 47 into 16, which will be equals to 752 millimeter. We have got the value of LD. Divide 60 millimeter cover at end. So our remaining portion will be 1 by 2 times L minus A minus 60. Here, see guys, this is we are discussing about this portion. We have subtracted this 60 and we're considering the half of the span of this column, so this remaining portion will be this much, 1 by 2 times L minus A minus 60, which is along we are discussing about L means along y direction, means we are removing this portion which is our cover, which is 60 millimeter. Okay, and we are considering half of the span. So on doing so and putting the value, we will get its value as 1290 millimeter, and we have got that LD is less than this value 1290 millimeter, which is okay. And this was our final step in this numerical. I hope this video was very helpful to all of you guys. Do subscribe my channel if you want more videos related to civil engineering, and if you feel that the video was helpful, then do share and like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.